The sun was setting behind the mountains, casting an orange glow over the peaceful community nestled by the river. The residents of the area were going about their business unaware that one of them was about to face an unexpected and frustrating challenge. A relatively quiet and private person, had lived in this cabin for many years, peacefully enjoying the tranquility of nature. My cabin sat at the far end of the road, just before a steep hill and a river that ran through the valley. For years, I had taken full advantage of the small bridge that crossed the river, which was the only way in and out of my cabin. However, over the past few months, tensions had been rising with the homeowners association. HOA, the board members had been constantly looking for ways to control and regulate every little thing in the neighborhood, even the most insignificant details about the properties. While many of my neighbors seemed to be on board with their strict rules, I had always stood firm in my desire for peace and privacy. One day, I arrived home to find that the HOA had taken it upon themselves to block off the bridge leading to my cabin. There was a large sign in the middle of the bridge reading, "No access. HOA orders." My heart sank as I realized that I was now effectively cut off from the outside world. I felt a rush of anger and confusion. How could they just do this without informing me? Determined not to let this stand, I decided to take action. I walked straight to the HOA office, ready to speak with whoever was responsible for this decision. When I arrived, I was met with a smug look from the president, who was quite pleased. "With his own authority, you can't block the only access to my property," I said firmly. But they just smiled and told me that the bridge was considered a communal structure now, and they had the right to restrict access. I took a deep breath. It was then that I remembered something important. The bridge wasn't communal. I owned it. I had paid for its construction years ago, and it had always been privately owned by me. Armed with this knowledge, I contacted a lawyer and quickly had a legal notice sent to the HOA demanding immediate removal of the blockage. The next day, I was granted access to my bridge, and the HOA was forced to apologize. The residents, who had no idea of the underlying conflict, continued to live their peaceful lives blissfully, unaware that I had, in fact, held the only key to the bridge's access all along. The HOA had learned the hard way: never underestimate the power of knowing your rights.